everyone, and welcome to one more episode of our series called Brazilian True Crime. Today, we explore a heart-wrenching and disturbing true crime case from Brazil, the tragic death of young Henry Borel, a case that shocked the nation and revealed a dark side to a seemingly ordinary family. We'll also explore the background of Henry's and his family before the crime that forever changed their lives. Henry Borel was a vibrant and affectionate 4-year-old boy living in Rio de Janeiro, known for his infectious smile and playful nature, and he was adored by those who knew him. He lived with his mother, Monique Medeiros, and her partner, Dr. Jairo Souza Santos. And Jairo was also a city councilman. Monique Medeiros and his mother was a prominent figure in her community. A former beauty queen and model, Monique was known for her public appearances and social media presence. Her partner, Dr. Jairo Souza Santos, was a respected orthopedic surgeon and a city councilman. And his biological father, Leniel Borel, was a former partner of Monique. He was described as a devoted father who maintained a close relationship with Henry despite the separation. Leniel was active in his son's life and had a strong bond with him. So actually, I have to say something. I admire so much Leniel. I follow him on Instagram and I watch all the interviews that he participates. He also created a podcast, and I truly admire everything that he did for his son. I do think that he is following his son's legacy, and I'm quite happy that he can move on in a way with his life. He just had a baby girl called Valentina, and he is, I think, married to his new partner, and I do wish him all the best. Before the crime, the family seemed to have a perfect life. Monique and Jairo lived in a luxurious apartment in Barra da Tijuca, a wealthy neighborhood in Rio de Janeiro. The couple appeared to have a stable and loving relationship on the surface, with many admiring their well-presented family life. Also, their relationship was very, very quick. People believe that she was already, actually I think it was proved that she was already dating him before divorcing Leniel, and she was interested also like in the social life that he was able to give her, the social status, financial improvement, and people believe that she was targeted by Jairo because of Henry and not because she really wanted to be with her. This was like, let's say after 2 or 3 months, if I'm not mistaken, they moved in together. And of course, because she was the mother, she keeps the child, and she took Henry with her. Leniel was not happy about it, and he even asked to meet this new boyfriend, and he met him, I think, once. He was like super nice, super polite to Leniel, and after a while, Henry confided in his dad and said that the uncle, who was Jairo, hugged him way too hard. And he was like, what did your mom say about that? And he said that mommy said that it was a dream, that he wasn't, this wasn't like a real life situation. And then immediately on that day, he asked Monique and Jairo, like, what the hell is going on here? Like, do not hug my son, do not do anything, and Monique kept on saying that wasn't true, that was just a dream and all of that. And Jairo was like, no, this never happened. I'm so sorry, man. But, you can get my number if there's any problem. You can always call me and all of that. Friends and acquaintances described Henry as a joyful child who was always surrounded by love. Monique and Jairo often shared photos and updates about their seemingly happy family life on social media, portraying a picture-perfect existence. Despite their public image, there were private tensions and underlying issues within the family. Monique and Jairo's relationship was marked by frequent arguments and strained interactions. Close friends noted subtle signs of trouble, but the full extent of the issues remained hidden. Henry Borel also reported concerns about Henry's well-being. He had previously raised alarms about Henry's safety, which were overlooked. His efforts to ensure his son's protection highlighted his dedication as a father, contrasting sharply with the disturbing events that would follow. On the night of March 8, 2021, Henry's life took a tragic turn. According to reports, Monique and Jairo called for an ambulance, claiming that Henry had fallen and injured himself. However, the details of Henry's injuries were inconsistent with their story. There are surveillance footage that prove that they took Henry like in the middle of the night, maybe 3 or 4 a.m. if I'm not mistaken. Hours after Leniel left Henry at home, he did not want to go home. He did not want to stay with Monique. He cried for his dad to not stay there, and Monique just grabbed him and was like, no, you're staying home, and all of that. And of course, because if Leniel didn't leave him there, she could easily call the police and say that her son got kidnapped by the dad. So, how justice sometimes does not work in the right way. And he even got a picture that Monique sent to Leniel saying he's asleep, and there's a picture that he looks like asleep. And it is believed that he was actually murdered around 11 to midnight, and this surveillance footage proved that they only took him, and he looks dead. Took him, and they look nervous, they look like they're trying to get him awake or anything like that, around like 3 or 4 a.m. So that was like discussed a lot, like what did they do all these hours with this kid dead? They could have taken him to the hospital earlier, and he could have been with us, maybe, I don't know. So they were claiming that Henry had fallen and injured himself. However, the details of Henry's injuries were inconsistent with their story. They discovered that Henry had severe injuries, including multiple bruises and a fractured skull. The inconsistencies in Monique and Jairo's accounts raised suspicions. The investigation revealed a pattern of abuse and neglect, ultimately pointing to foul play. So, while they were on the way to the hospital, they called Leniel and they said that, at first they said that he stopped breathing. Monique said that, and then he was like, what? And he was awake because he left quite early to his job, like 5 a.m. And then later, Jairo said on the phone, like, he had a heart attack. And then he was like, how is that even possible? Where are you taking him? Where is him? So they told him which hospital they were taking him. When they arrived there, The doctors were shocked, like, this was not a fall. He was like already dead. They were trying for so long to make him alive again. Laniel begged them, like, please, please don't, tell me my son is dead. But unfortunately, he was dead for hours. Monique Medeiros and Jairo Souza Santos were arrested and charged with the murder of Henry Borel. The trial revealed harrowing details about the abuse Henry suffered, leading to widespread outrage and grief across Brazil. In August 2023, both were found guilty of Henry's murder. But it's still a discussion to this day. They might do a retrial. Monique went out and in jail again. She claims that she was a domestic violence survivor, which is, of course, not true. There is a nanny that had more than one occasion that saw that Jairo was, abusing this child, not sexually abusing, but hitting him, and she didn't, she said something to Monique, and Monique was like, oh my god, I cannot believe, and then went home, and actually she let her son suffer because she was more interested in the financial situation she was having. And the nanny never said anything to Laniel or the police. The case of Henry Borel sparked a nation outcry against child abuse and brought attention to the need for better protection for vulnerable children. And his story became a symbol of the urgent need for vigilance and intervention in cases of domestic violence. And later on, Laniel was able to create a new law for child protection, child abuse, and everything, and even child homicide. And it's named after Henry, so that's actually a good side of this tragic story. And he keeps on fighting, so his son name is not forgotten, his son's legacy is not forgotten, and also that hopefully no more kids die in this way or go through what he went through. Thank you for joining us in this episode. If you found this story compelling, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more Brazilian true crime stories. Be careful, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.